That was quite a finale. We're actually gonna start with the question we had earlier about that we didn't get a chance to answer with you guys about feeling what it's like to have such an impact on the LGBT community and be a part of the show.
So there's lots of different reasons someone becomes an actor, but I feel like the one big reason that everyone does agree on is that you want to make a difference. You want to impact people's lives, and a lot of the time you're doing Wendy's commercials, you know. And
I can see that with you.
Can you? But I just feel so lucky to be a part of something that clearly makes such a difference in so many people's lives, and I've had, you know, people contacting me on Twitter and just like sending fan mail, and we really do make a difference, and I just feel so lucky.
Yes, all of that. For me, like, without this show, I wouldn't have discovered a lot about myself. So, like, the impact this show has had on me has been so positive. And to be able to be part of something that's positive in a lot of people's lives and represent, like, a part of the world that doesn't get a lot of, like, attention is, like, really, really awesome. And I'm gonna get emotional, so I'm gonna stop talking right now. But, yeah.
Work through it. Okay, so this question is for all of you. This is from Julia. Julia. If you could rename the series based on what has happened so far in the show, what would you name it?
So that's one. Also, Pain and Lesbians.
That was my band in college.
Well, so far, nobody stays dead.
Thank God. Maybe Laura and Carmilla's Excellent Bogus Adventure.
Maddie's Minions. Straight up, like, shit hitting the fan.
I would maybe just rename it like Silas University, because I think that, well, it is like just like Silas.
Because it's whispered.
Silas. Especially for season 2, I mean, it's just such an incredible ensemble cast, and it's such a huge cast, and we all support each other, and like every single character is important to the plot. So I think, yeah.
Aww. Okay, this is again for all of you. What was the toughest scene for you to film in season 2?
I was really worried about shooting episode 30 because I had never had to shoot a scene that was quite that emotional or a scene where someone close to me dies. So I was really worried about it because I thought that I wouldn't be able to get there. I really started to doubt myself as an actor, but it was actually one of the easiest scenes for me to shoot because the cast is incredible and everyone was so supportive, and like the second Sophia died in my arms, it was just so easy to do, and like when I looked at everyone in the room, it was just instant. Oddly enough, the most difficult scenes to shoot are the really mundane ones where we don't have lines and do montages, because it has to be very precise. It's like, no, put this box down right here, and then it's just like very unnatural and strange. So, yeah. I would say it's not an episode specifically, but one of the most challenging things for me this season was the kind of work that I strive to do as an actor is to really put all of myself into a character, which requires
admitting things about myself through Laura, and so I had to admit a lot of qualities that are unlikable, I would say, and so when I got the scripts, at first I was like, fuck no, like what sane person wants to like admit that? And then I realized I'm probably not sane because I chose to be an actor as a career, and so that was challenging, and I was really resistant to it at first when I got the scripts, but I also feel like I was given such a gift in a lot of ways because there's not many jobs that you get to go to work and like live through some really big important questions, and yes.
So I come from a real theater background. That's all I know is theater. And so this was a serious crash course in camera work. I think so. It wasn't one episode in particular. It was more the struggle of everyone that I'm doing the scene with are behind me, but apparently I can't really turn and look at you. I have to try to like stay here. And what am I looking at? Okay, don't look directly at the camera. Look at that thing there. But feel all the things that you're feeling, but you can't make eye contact. That's not how theater works. So it really was a challenge. And also things were happening quickly. And as a theater actor, we have the luxury of, today I'm feeling like this, and this is what I want to try today and see what happens. And on sets, that doesn't happen. It's like, listen, if you did that and it sucked for you, well, that's what everyone's going to see. So, yeah, it was more the technical stuff than anything.
Yeah, it's such a treat. Okay, so I think for me, this season it was like any scene that I had to enter through the door, which just like really stressed me out because it's just a matter of timing, and like Elise would be often talking so much before an entrance, and like if I fucked it up, then she'd have to go back to the beginning, feel really bad, like a lot of pressure. We were moving really fast. The door was also a real situation. Like it broke a couple times, and then it wouldn't open. Like the number of times I tried to enter for my scene and I couldn't get through the door, and I'd just be like, "Let me in! Like I'm here! I'm ready." So it was just like a stressful. That was the stress of it for me. Was just like entering, yeah.
Door work, the actor struggles.
I have a specific answer. It was 35, and it was the most takes that I had done in a scene in Carmilla, and it's hard because we usually only have about 3 to 4 takes for a scene, and when you go over 4 takes, you're just like, I'm fucking this up. Like, I'm really messing up here, and it was take 8, take 9, take 10, and I'm like, everything's going wrong because there are so many technical things. It was the stab wound in the back. It was the talking and the moving and the stabbing and the dying and the emotions. There was just so many things in play that needed to be perfect, and it was hard, and we did it so many times that we were just so exhausted and literally crying, so it turned out perfect. So I have 2. The hardest one emotionally was the last one, because it was the first time I actually had to like feel something. Like I had to give in to what I was feeling, which was like rough. And then the other one was, there was a montage bit where Laura was eating ice cream. And I have a really hard time not laughing a lot of the time, but she turned around to look at me, and there was like a dribble of it going down the side of her face. And I'm pretty sure we cut right before I laughed the loudest I've ever laughed in my life. So that was the hardest. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. when we didn't know that Ian, who played Miss 40, was going to like die, like say schnick and snap like that.
Caitlin and I looked at each other and just like we could not get it together.
We were like, don't look at each other. We'll film this scene.
He
We
was
got
the sweetest, most adorable man ever. So
yeah.
Oh well, Caitlin, since you have the mic. This isn't like let's process. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Tell us about the scene where LaFontaine and Kirsch become Lofi's mouthpiece. Was it more difficult to stay in unison or not crack up laughing?
A little bit of both. I think it was harder for the people looking at me to not crack up laughing because I can't really roll my eyes in the back of my head, so I was kind of just like cross-eyed and like looking at the ceiling. It was weird. But Matt and I like had memorized the lines separately, and then we got together and we tried saying them together, and we were like, this is not working. But we figured it out, and then we were about to film, and Spence was like, I want this to be creepier. And I was like, well, I can do a really low voice. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I could do this.
Do it again.
Why? So I did that voice, and Kirsch did like a super, super high voice. So like when it's mixed, you can hear the low voice is mine, which is a fun fact. So that was hard to keep together for. Yeah. That was a sentence.
All right, Sharon. Now, you kind of addressed this, but let's get to the emotional part of it. I heard Danny. Oh. So, was it a challenge to play Danny this season? I'm sure it was. What was it like shooting that scene where you got stabbed in the back?
It was difficult because I don't know what that feels like.
Let's hope you never ever do.
So, a lot of time with acting, when you're doing feeling things, usually you can draw on things that you felt, but it's just kind of out of the blue, so it's very technical. I did a movie where I got shot, and
That's not a good track record so far.
Sure. And I asked the stunt guy, I was like, so how do people actually get shot? Like, how do they do it? And he's like, how you do it in movies is you don't do it how it would actually happen. You die how people die in movies because it's way more exaggerated. So it's like you're thinking about kind of how it might feel, but also just like, play it up. I'm dying. But this is also really real. It's just like very confusing, and maybe that's why we had a bunch of takes because I was messing it up. But I don't know. It was just very challenging.
All right, Annie. Stacy wants to know how your performance this season was influenced by playing a secretly possessed person. What was that like, trying to secretly change Perry's character and body language?
All right. Well, I as well don't have any like personal experience being possessed, so I had to sort of suss that out a little. So when I first got the scripts, I wanted to hint at it throughout, but I didn't want to like completely blow my load in like the first couple episodes. So I tried to like gently like ease us all into it, but enough so that like if by like the last quarter of the season, if you like went back and rewatched, then maybe you could start to like pick out some sneaky little tidbits that like you hadn't caught on to before. So, and then I remember talking to Spence about like these different versions and sort of like levels with Perry this season. So it was like there was a Perry that was just like fully Perry, like in her own head, her own body, like in control. There was like a full Dean, which we didn't see a ton of, just that last little bit. And then there was like this middle portion, which was Perry mostly in her body, like 60 to 70%, with like hints of this like weirdness kind of just overtaking her that she wasn't super aware of. So I just like played with levels of that. But let me tell you, like, as an actor, I really just have to thank the writers for this one, because what a treat to get to do something like that. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it makes it really exciting. So.
Alright, Sophia.
Yes.
Diana wants to know, what is the one historical event you can see Carmilla and Maddie being at that they would really enjoy and possibly make even worse than it already is?
That's not real deep. I guess going back to being an outsider, being able to witness Dr. Martin Luther King speak, be a part of the civil rights movement, Black Panther, I love, like, Afro Puff and You've Got Braids. Wearing all the black, right? Holding hands in front of all the Jim Crow fans. Yeah, during segregation. Yeah.
Alright, this last question. Yeah, give it up. Absolutely. Alright, this is for Natasha and Elise. Jamie wants to know, what do you admire most about Laura and Carmilla's relationship?
Ladies first. I would say, you can see it in the last scene between us. I think there's still so much love between the two ladies, and I think after everything that they've been through this semester, or this year, I lose track of Carmilla time. They're still, you can just, like, they're still so deeply in love with each other, and I think, I don't understand relationships. It's been a very long time since I've been in one, but this was, like, one of the biggest questions that I had before going into this season. I remember calling Spencer before we shot, and I was like, I just don't get it, like, there's, like, you love a person, but then you just, like, don't like things about them, but you can't, like, ask them to change, but then, like, you want them to, and, like, I don't get that.
That's the most Laura thing you've ever said.
I still don't understand, but I think that's maybe what a real relationship is, where you recognize that there's parts of the other person, both parties, that you maybe don't like about that person or don't see eye to eye on, and you choose to love that person anyway. But I don't know, maybe.
I think my favorite thing about Laura and Carmilla's relationship is pretty similar, and it's the same thing about my personal relationship with Elise, is that their ability to learn from each other and grow from each other despite their differences, and to find a lot of common ground. I think, like, Elise and I have had one hell of a year. We've worked together a lot in just over a year, and sometimes our process is, like, very different, but we're both incredibly passionate about what we do and very driven, and so, yeah, there's just, like, so much respect there, and I think their ability to, like, love someone that they're different from is just so admirable, and to get through things together, and they really truly are a team, even if they're not physically together. So, yeah, that's what's really great about them.
Well, that's just damn heartwarming. I want you to give it up for this amazing cast. Hardworking. I can't believe you did this in, like, 4 days, too. And I am so honored to have met and talked to all of you throughout this year, so thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we are going to take a little break here, and you are going to go over, where are they going to be? Okay, over here. See, over here. You're going to go grab some awesome stuff, some signed by the cast right here. You buy Kotex products. Yeah. The best. And then stick around because at 6:45 you can